Hi and welcome to West Coast Health and High Performance. Today I want to introduce you to Adam Richardson, who's got a passionate idea regarding how we train back pain, how we manage back pain and pain in general for our body and the imbalances that exist in the way we move. So Adam's going to have a good chat with you about his theories, and I've seen some great results with some of the stuff he does. And it's more about training the front of the body a little bit more than our focus on training the back of the body, which we've done for years. So have a think about that.
This one becomes exponentially harder. Oh, Jesus.
I'd love to get your feedback on what Adam's got to say.
So what I try and changing it lately is that's more anterior strength. And that means that anything across the front part of the body just needs to be a lot stronger in comparison to the other side of the body. So in trying to improve an athlete or an individual, I want them to consider the whole of the body, and also I want them to consider certain areas of removal. And that means that's perhaps a little less on the calf, a little less on the hamstring, a little less on the back, and a little less between the shoulder blades. However, saying that, then the converse of that can occur. We can strengthen the neck by lifting the head, we can do some dumbbell flies laying on our back, we can strengthen the groins and the hip flexors, and we can strengthen the anterior shins.
So what do you think's managed sort of sometimes poorly when we look at back pain?
Oh, brilliant. That's a good question. When I was an undergrad student, I studied toxicology. And toxicology is the science of too much or too little. And so what's happening is I think it's way too much extension, and that means as athletes run a lot. I felt that in my hamstrings, so I wonder if I could take the hamstring or the back out of a particular exercise to not increase the dose. Therefore, the dose would cause the muscle to test fatigued, which I misinterpreted as weak. And therefore, if I strengthen that particular hamstring too much, I would actually cause it to get injured.
That makes sense.
Yeah, therefore, the basic thing is I was making a human error. I wasn't like dumb or smart. I just misinterpreted the data in terms of what we call the tyranny of metric, which means I didn't quite understand the dose response curve associated with loading. And so because of my human movement and strength and conditioning background, I found that a lot of the stuff I was doing was actually the cause. So we call that iatrogenic. And I also looked for patterns which were handed down from universities and gyms throughout my whole life, and that's called apothenia, I think. So it's looking for patterns that aren't there. For example, there's maltracking. And so I also started noticing that we could compartmentalize areas of the knee, but it didn't actually make any outcome difference to the health of the knee. So I could go medial, lateral, I could go retropatellar, and then give it a name, but really the answer to the riddle was straighten the knee, not bend it. And so when you then specialise over a long period of time, in fact close to 20 years, in surgical rehab, I got many patients who were former athletes, and they weren't very good. They were in bad health. And that's because they couldn't straighten their knees, for example. So they're walking around with a semi-flexed knee, and then asking that person to do more squats was the definition of lighting a fire with petrol. It didn't work.
It's great to see how passionate Adam is about what he does. So don't hesitate to come in, see Adam, book a time to go through your movements, your problems, your pain, and let him help you on your way forward for better health.